afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Redberryweo here, and welcome back to another quick Civil Air Patrol video. In today's video, we are kicking off our Names Behind the Achievements series, where I am talking about the different achievements and the people that they are named after. And so this video is current as of July 4th, 2022. And so in the future, they may add achievements, they may change things. Who knows? But at least as of recording this video, Achievement 1 is the Curry achievement, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about the requirements associated with completing the Curry, in addition to a little bit about General Curry to give some context of why the achievement is named after him. So let's just talk about first, what are the requirements to complete the Curry achievement? There are a couple of things different between the Curry and a lot of the other achievements in Phase 1 and Phase 2. And so in the first achievement in Civil Air Patrol, there's something called the Welcome Module. And so there is the learning management system that Civil Air Patrol uses, and I will include a link in the iCard here for being able to get into Access and take those modules. You have to take a Welcome module that kind of gives an introduction of what Cadet Interactive is, in addition to talking about, like, here are some of the expectations, and here's a little bit more information about what Civil Air Patrol is. There's also the first achievement leadership test, where you take chapter 1 from Learn to Lead, and you can either complete that as a test or as the Cadet Interactive module. There's a misconception that you have to do both. You are not required to do both, and if you do both, then you receive something called honor credit. Yay! And then on your ribbon, you will get a little clasp, and you'll be able to wear this little tiny silver star on that ribbon, showing that you have completed the first achievement, and you did the leadership interactive module and the test. And the test is open book, so you can do either of them, and I would recommend definitely doing the test so that you're familiar with the style of questions that are asked, because they ask the same style questions when you do your first milestone test. But I'll talk about that first milestone test in a different video. So you've got that leadership requirement, no aerospace requirement. There's a drill test, and so that's basically just learning stationary movements. There's also the wingman course, which is the character development equivalent for the first achievement. And so the wingman course, it doesn't have to be taught by a character development instructor. It doesn't have to be taught by a chaplain. It just has to be taught by like a cadet program's senior member. And it has some help and facilitation from a cadet NCO, where essentially it says, what is a wingman? What can you do to be a good wingman? There's like a little activity or two, you get to have a discussion, and there's like a whole scenario with a wheelbarrow of bricks, and crossing a rickety bridge over a creek with your flight instructor. There's like a whole scenario there. I've taught it a couple of times. It's very interesting. You'll have fun doing it if you haven't done it already. And if you have done it, you'll probably know what I'm talking about if you did the wingman course, which you should have if you did the first achievement. And after looking at those requirements, there's also the Healthy Fitness Zone fitness testing requirement, where you just have to attempt the test and see what it's like. And so that includes the mile run or the pacer, there is the sit and reach, and there's also the cadence, push-ups, and sit-ups, where essentially you hear a person go up, down, 1, up, down, 2, up, down, 3, or down, up, 1. It's very exciting. It's okay. I don't personally, I'm not a huge fan of the cadence push-ups, because I find they're harder, because I'm like, but you just have to try it, do as best you can, and that's all that really matters. And so those are the requirements right there, and it's pretty straightforward to do. And with your first achievement, you really should try to do it within the first 8 weeks of joining, because then you are progressing actively through the cadet program while also showing how motivated and enthusiastic you are while supporting your unit and going for your Civil Air Patrol goals. So let's talk about General Curry himself. General Curry was the first national commander of Civil Air Patrol, and he actually only commanded for like 4 months. But he had a tremendous impact on the foundation of Civil Air Patrol and its values. Generally speaking, he was a huge advocate for females being involved with aviation, in addition to just the general importance of general aviation and not just military aviation in the United States. He graduated from West Point in 1908 and served in the U.S. Army Air Corps for 41 total years. In his vast career, he was in aviation for 30 of those years, and he was a pilot expert aviator in addition to being a combat observer and a combat pilot. When General Curry was advocating for general aviation in Washington, D.C., he really emphasized that it should be based off of people's prior experience, their record, and their abilities, and not other factors, which really helped with establishing one of Civil Air Patrol's founding principles of not discriminating based off of gender. And so they actually had females joining on the first day that Civil Air Patrol was open to members coming in. So with Civil Air Patrol's foundation in 1941, General Curry mobilized 100,000 pilots from across all the states in the United States and had them supporting non-combatant missions. So that would be keeping an eye out on espionage, patrolling the coasts, and trying to intervene any potential signals or radio from non-friendly parties such as Nazis when flying. And a really cool thing about the Curry Achievement is that it was named after him in 1965, and there was a letter of authorization that anyone can now view because a PDF copy was actually uploaded to the Curry Achievement website on National's website. So if you want to take a look at that letter of authorization where General Curry's like, hey, I'm honored that you want to name an achievement after me, I give my authorization, you can go ahead and check that out. So I will link that website in the description, and that website also has all the information I talked about of like all the promotion requirements associated with getting your Curry. So that is going to kind of close off this summary for the Curry Achievement. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a little something about General Curry. And if you weren't familiar, well, he's pretty cool in helping establish Civil Air Patrol. And even though he was only national commander for a few months, he had a tremendous long-term impact. So that does it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And that is all, folks. Until next time. Toodles.